I always felt that the more homes that are built, while you have more tax revenue coming in, but what seems has happened is all this land has been acquired, and that has taken money off of the tax rolls.
Everybody's just living on the idea that, okay, fine, I can charge my credit cards to the max, not worry about paying them. Well, guess what? Sooner or later, the bill's gonna come in, you know? And who's gonna be stuck sitting at the table for the tab? Us, the people of Highbridge.
Why do they keep focusing on just the impacts of the Catanzarete development? Why don't they ever talk about the long-term impacts of the debt?
Municipality should not be in a real estate business.
And I think that for us to, at this point, commit to 20 years worth of payments, which at this point in time, one of the questions is this going to cost us more on our taxes? And at this point in time, we're being told that this 9 cents or whatever cents it is per 100 is going to be the cost. I think that's only the cost on the down payment if I'm understanding other people.
We can't just walk around pushing an agenda when there's some really clear evidence that perhaps what people are being told is not exactly the truth.
In the last 12 years, the Highbridge government has gone on a spending spree, buying open space and removing taxable properties that could be bringing in revenue. Already, approximately 21% of the properties in the borough do not generate property taxes. This has led the homeowners to bear a larger tax burden. They bought a farm and turned it into a golf course, which was promised to make money. Instead, it loses money. They bought Lake Solitude, and now we have the dam to deal with. They bought the Comline property, which is a corroding factory and a beautiful stone mansion, which could have been put to other uses, but now can't because it was bought with Green Acres money. They also bought the Springside Farms with Green Acre money, which precludes the town from generating any tax revenue from it. The borough has gone into the golf course business, the historic museum business, and the real estate business, and none of this has brought in any tax revenues. Why does a 2 square mile borough need so much open space? We need tax revenue. Which brings us to the 37 acres on Dewey Avenue and the millions of dollars that the borough wants us to pay for it. Why should we be burdened with an additional $8 or $7 or $4 million of debt when a developer, Kenneth Pizzo Sr., is in contract to purchase the property for $3.5 million from the current owner, Pat Catanzarete? Why is the town running interference between Pizzo and Catanzarete when Pizzo is proposing to build a sensible development that will address the concerns of the town without adding a penny to our already overextended debt?
Hi, my name is Ken Pizzo Sr., and I've been asked to comment on the Highbridge project. I'm a contract purchaser of the Catanzarete property, i.e. an owner in equity. Under our scenarios, there would be approximately an additional additional 6 acres of environmentally sensitive land left untouched. We would, of course, be willing to donate free of charge all the access land to the municipality to be utilized for active and/or passive recreation, or whatever the town fathers and the residents deem appropriate. There would be no money spent for land acquisition, and there would be land, albeit not the whole tract, but part of the tract that would be in the town's control. Also, the proposals would bring a net rateable to the township. That is, simply put, the taxes paid by us will exceed the cost for municipal services. This encompasses this property, very environmentally sensitive through here, etc. This is about the flattest part of the property. What we propose will take up approximately that much property. As you can see, We eliminate the need to get into here. We use the flattest part of the property. We traverse this area here. We leave this alone as well, and then we build again on a flatter part of the property down near the railroad. So this really is sensitive to the topo of the property and other features of the property. Mr. Catanzaretti will receive more than twice, I emphasize, as much for the property as I would be paying him under our contract. That is under a full taking of the property or a partial taking of the property. One can only conclude that this is his motivation, which he's entitled to, and he therefore is attempting to extinguish the contract with us. And we trust he will not be successful. We think we will prevail. We're involved in a lawsuit with Mr. Catanzaretti, who alleges that we no longer have the right to acquire his property. We disagree with that position, and we are confident that getting a fair and impartial hearing from the court, that we will prevail. If we do prevail in the short term, and this is very important, if we do prevail in the short term, we can immediately pursue with the township our proposals. If Mr. Catanzaretti receives his final approval before the court has ruled, and we then prevail, you have my word, if the township works with the Pizzo family, we won't build that 104 single-family houses. We will build one of our other proposals. And I understand in an ideal world, the land would be left vacant for the flora and the fauna forever. I understand that. However, we don't have an ideal world. So the town will have to pay $7, $8, whatever $million for the property, or pay nothing and have a compromise position and get a rateable, again, a development which will produce more revenue than it will cost the town. And I stand ready for any questions and critique on those facts.
If phase one of this project was still vacant land, it would be assessed at about $644,000, generating less than $9,000 in taxes. Fortunately for both the people living there and the taxpayers of Highbridge, this property is now Manning Court and Wharton Way. 32 lots, now assessed at more than $13 million. The Dewey Avenue property, if built upon, if developed, would rise in value and generate a lot of taxes. If we confiscate the property, not a penny will be paid for years.
I think that one of the reasons this referendum was pushed is simply because the attitude at one of the meetings, to me, was not addressing the concerns of everybody who lives here and has watched what's gone on for the last 10 years, which really was too much control on the part of too few people without enough explanations before the decisions were made, and it cost us all.
Save Highbridge almost seems to flaunt it. For example, on their website, they come across, or they have a box on their website that's quotes from the Democrat of council saying that even if the noes win, council's not going to change the tax rate and it's just going to use the money for something else other than buying this Catanzaretti property, which I just think is horrible, and it seems like they're thumbing their nose at the democratic process. They tried to squash the referendum to begin with the handling of the petition. They voted on the budget before the referendum occurred, and now they're saying that even if they don't win, they're just going to ignore it and keep the budget the same anyway, despite the majority telling them that they don't want them to buy this property and raise the tax rate that high.
How long are you willing to wait until you get back to a stable tax situation in this town? Other than that, it's your choice come September 11th. Either you want this debt or you want to operate your town like you'd operate your own house.